Hey.
Hi.
What's up, baby?
Where are you going?
I'm about to deposit $200 million right now.
Imagine the FBI walking into a mansion and finding 90 terabytes of footage. That's not just a lot of data, that's thousands of hours of compromising material featuring some of the biggest names in entertainment. Rappers you listen to every day, singers whose posters might be on your wall, even people who stand behind pulpits on Sunday mornings. All of them caught on camera doing things they never wanted the world to see. And the craziest part? They had no idea they were being recorded. This isn't some conspiracy theory floating around on Reddit anymore. Federal investigators allegedly uncovered a hard drive that could bring down half of Hollywood. And what's on those files is about to make your jaw drop. The allegations surrounding Diddy have been swirling for years, but nothing prepared anyone for what the FBI supposedly discovered during their investigation. According to reports, when federal agents raided Diddy's properties, they didn't just find the usual evidence you'd expect. They stumbled upon a massive digital archive, a collection so extensive that it would take you literal years to watch everything on it. We're talking about 90 terabytes of footage from parties that happened over decades. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 90,000 hours of video if we're being conservative with file sizes. That's more content than every season of your favorite TV show combined, multiplied by 100. But here's where it gets really dark. The alleged footage wasn't just random party clips of people having a good time. According to sources close to the investigation, these videos captured intimate moments, compromising situations, and activities that would destroy careers and reputations in seconds if they ever went public. Multiple celebrities from different corners of the entertainment industry supposedly appear in this footage. We're talking A-list rappers, both male and female singers with platinum records, politicians who campaign on family values, and yes, even religious leaders who preach morality every Sunday. The variety of people caught on camera is what makes this whole situation so explosive. What makes this even more sinister is the allegation that none of these people knew they were being filmed. Hidden cameras, concealed recording devices, surveillance systems disguised as everyday objects. The whole setup was allegedly designed to capture everything without anyone's knowledge or consent. And why would someone go through all that trouble to record people without them knowing? The answer is pretty straightforward when you think about it. Control, leverage, blackmail. When you have footage of powerful people in compromising situations, you essentially own them. You can make them do favors, sign contracts, stay silent about things they witnessed, or basically bend to your will whenever you need something from them. It's the ultimate insurance policy in an industry where power is everything. Now here's something that will really get you thinking. There's also been talk about what wasn't being used during these recorded sessions. Protection, safety measures, basic precautions that anyone with common sense would take. According to the rumours, nothing like that was happening at these gatherings, which means diseases and infections were allegedly being passed around like party favours. When you've got dozens or even hundreds of people rotating through these events over the years and nobody's being careful, you're looking at a potential health crisis that's spread through the entertainment industry like wildfire. Some of the people who attended these parties went on to have relationships with other people who then had relationships with others, creating this massive web of potential exposure that could affect way more people than just those who were actually in the footage. Before we go any further, I need you to do something real quick. If you're finding this information as wild as I am, go ahead and smash that like button right now and hit subscribe because we're about to dive even deeper into this mess, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. We're going to name names, discuss the evidence, and break down how this alleged operation stayed hidden for so long. Now, let's get back into it. For years, people dismissed Jaguar Wright as just another conspiracy theorist making wild accusations with no proof. She'd go on podcasts, drop bombshell claims about major artists, and talk about things happening behind closed doors in the music industry that sounded too crazy to be true. Everyone from fans to fellow artists would wave her off, saying she was bitter, unhinged, or just looking for attention. But here's the thing about Jaguar. She wasn't just throwing out random accusations. She was naming specific names, describing specific situations, and talking about an alleged pattern of behavior that went back decades. She tried warning everyone about what was really happening at these elite parties long before any federal investigation, before any lawsuits, before the general public even considered that something this massive could be real. One of the most shocking names Jaguar dropped was 50 Cent. Now, anyone who's followed hip-hop knows that 50 has been going after Diddy relentlessly for years. He's made jokes, posted memes, and basically turned trolling Diddy into a full-time hobby. So when Jaguar claimed that 50 was actually at some of these parties, people were confused. Why would someone who's been so vocal about calling out Diddy's behavior participate in those same activities? According to Jaguar, 50 wasn't just a casual attendee. She claimed he had preferences at these gatherings and even named a specific artist as his alleged favorite. Soulja Boy's name came up in these allegations, which sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. The claims got even more specific. There were stories about incidents in New York, situations in hotel hallways, and moments that painted a picture completely different from the public personas these artists present. Jaguar talked about how Soulja Boy had been in the industry since he was extremely young, similar to other artists who went through similar experiences. She suggested that his early entry into the music business made him vulnerable to things that no teenager should ever have to deal with. The way Jaguar told it, there's a reason why some people in the industry are so quick to call out certain behaviors in others. It's because they recognize the signs from their own experiences. Birds of a feather flock together, as the saying goes. But Jaguar wasn't done dropping names. Another artist who got caught up in this world was Brashear Gray. According to the rumours, Brashear's situation was particularly messed up because of how it started. He had a manager named Charlie Mack, someone who was supposed to protect him and guide his career in the right direction. Instead, reports claim that this manager essentially handed Brashear over to powerful industry figures under the guise of mentorship. Diddy and Will Smith's names both came up in connection to Brashear, with allegations that what was supposed to be career guidance turned into something completely different. Jaguar Wright was once again at the centre of these allegations, claiming that she heard things from people who lived near Will Smith's property. According to her, neighbours reported hearing young men screaming and running from the house during late-night gatherings. She specifically mentioned both Meek Mill and Brashear Gray as people who allegedly fled from that residence after sessions that went way beyond anything that could be called mentorship. The allegations painted a picture of young artists being promised guidance and opportunities, only to find themselves in situations they never signed up for. Jaguar claimed that most of them eventually left, but one artist, August Alsina, stayed despite whatever was happening. She suggested he might have been in such a desperate situation financially or career-wise that he felt he had no other choice. Speaking of Meek Mill, his name has been circulating in these allegations for quite a while now. It wasn't exactly shocking to hear rumours about him being on that alleged FBI hard drive, because whispers about a connection between Meek and Diddy have been floating around the industry for years. Things got way more serious when Meek was reportedly named in one of the lawsuits against Diddy as someone who frequently participated in these private sessions. But the evidence that really got people talking was an audio recording that leaked online. There's also the bizarre situation between Diddy and The Game. Game himself talked about this in interviews, describing how his relationship with Diddy never actually involved making music. According to Game, Diddy kept promising they'd work on an album together, kept signing paperwork and making it seem like a real business arrangement. But instead of studio sessions, Diddy would fly him around the world. Miami, New York, Atlanta, you name it. Just partying, hanging out, buying expensive gifts, showering him with jewelry and watches. Game admitted he kept asking when they were actually going to record something, but Diddy would just say they needed to party more, bond more, experience life together first. Now, people in the industry couldn't help but notice a pattern. A lot of these trips were allegedly to Atlanta, and if you know anything about the rumours surrounding Atlanta and certain activities, you know why people started side-eyeing those travel arrangements. There's this running joke in hip-hop about men who constantly fly to Atlanta, alone or with other men, and what those trips might really be about. Game's story of basically being taken on a 2-year vacation with no music being recorded but plenty of gifts being exchanged definitely raised some eyebrows. He'd show up to interviews with new jewelry, talking about how generous Diddy was, but never with new music from their supposed collaboration. Then there's YK Osiris, whose alleged involvement in this whole situation reads like a textbook case of a desperate artist making questionable decisions. Back in 2021, rumours started spreading that he'd gotten involved with Diddy while they were on vacation together in Jamaica. The evidence people pointed to was pretty damning from an optics standpoint. YK was posting photos of Diddy constantly, including one shirtless shot of Diddy in a pool with prayer hand emojis, like he was worshipping the man. Another post showed YK getting a massage while lying down, with a caption about listening to Diddy's music and eating good fruit in beautiful weather. The whole vibe of those posts had people seriously questioning what was really going on during that trip. What made the timing even more suspicious was YK's financial situation right before that Jamaica vacation. There were reports that he'd been dropped from his record label and was going completely broke. He even admitted in a video that he had to sell off all his luxury cars, his Lamborghini, his Rolls-Royce, his Cadillacs, just to afford rent. He tried to play it off like he was humbling himself and didn't need to stunt for anybody anymore, but people connected the dots. Broke artist suddenly goes on an expensive vacation with a powerful industry figure, posts weirdly intimate content, and then things improve for him afterward. The math wasn't exactly complicated. But the situation with YK got even messier when his baby mama decided she'd had enough of people asking questions. She hopped on her Instagram stories and straight up told everyone why she left him. Her exact words were, "Stop asking me what happened with my baby daddy. I caught him with a man." Just like that, no sugarcoating, no cryptic messages, she put it all out there for the world to see. Combined with the Jamaica trip and the suspicious timing of everything, the allegations about YK's involvement in Diddy's world started making a lot more sense to people who've been following the story. Now, if you're still watching and your mind is blown by all these connections, do me a favor and hit that like button one more time. Seriously, this information needs to reach as many people as possible, and your engagement helps make that happen. We've still got more names to cover and even darker allegations to discuss, so stay with me. Let's talk about one of the most disturbing allegations in this entire situation, the claims involving Usher. According to rumours that have circulated for years, Usher was touched inappropriately by Diddy when he was only 14 years old. The story goes that Usher's manager at the time sent him to stay with Diddy under the pretense of mentorship, similar to what allegedly happened with Brashear Gray. Usher was supposed to learn the music business, get guidance on his career, and benefit from Diddy's experience and connections. But people close to the situation claim that actual mentorship was the last thing on anyone's mind. These allegations took a darker turn when an email from one of the alleged publishers of Kim Porter's book leaked online. For those who don't know, Kim Porter was Diddy's ex and the mother of several of his children. Before she passed away, there were rumours that she'd been working on a tell-all book about her experiences. This leaked email discussed some of the content that was supposedly in that book, and it was absolutely explosive. The email mentioned Diddy's alleged relationships with men, footage of intimate encounters, and specific names of male celebrities he'd been with. But the part that really caught people's attention was the claim about Diddy giving Usher a sexually transmitted disease, and an alleged confrontation that happened between Diddy and Usher's mother when she found out what had been going on. The STD allegation became even more credible in people's minds when they remembered that Usher was actually sued by a woman back in 2017. This woman claimed that Usher exposed her to herpes during their encounters without telling her he'd been diagnosed with it back in 2009. She said she started experiencing symptoms, got tested, came back positive, and then found out through online reports that Usher had allegedly been dealing with this for years. The lawsuit laid out specific dates, specific encounters, and painted a picture of someone knowingly exposing others to a disease. When you connect that lawsuit to the allegations about what happened to Usher when he was a teenager, a really disturbing timeline starts to form. A lot of people believe Diddy gave him the herpes when he was just a kid, and then Usher was said to have continued the cycle by potentially exposing others later in life. Remember when I mentioned that even pastors appeared in some of this footage? Well, the name that keeps coming up in these discussions is TD Jakes. Now, I want to be clear that these are allegations and rumours, nothing has been proven in court. But the speculation around TD Jakes and his relationship with Diddy has been intense for quite a while. People started questioning things because of how close the two of them appeared to be. TD wasn't just someone who knew Diddy casually, he showed up to Diddy's birthday parties, major events, exclusive gatherings that most people would never get an invitation to. The backlash against TD was swift and brutal, coming from both regular people and other religious leaders. Fellow pastors were openly questioning why a man of God would be attending parties thrown by someone known for the wildest celebrations in entertainment. One pastor put it bluntly, asking why TD would be at Diddy's birthday party and suggesting there could only be two reasons: money or participating in the activities that happen at those events. Critics pointed to other controversial moments in TD's ministry, like when Tyler Perry came to his church and they had this whole theatrical moment where TD allegedly caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry laying hands on him. People were confused about why a bishop would be receiving spiritual power from an actor and filmmaker instead of the other way around. There was also this bizarre church service that went viral where a woman on stage was screaming things about pushing a baby out and birthing something while TD was doing his performance. People watching were genuinely confused about whether they were at a church service or witnessing some kind of ritual. The theatrics, combined with the rumours about TD attending Diddy's parties, created this perfect storm of allegations. Some people started suggesting that TD might be part of a larger network of powerful people involved in activities that go way beyond what anyone would expect from religious leadership. That brings us to perhaps the darkest part of all these allegations, the rumours about a secret society operating within Hollywood. According to various sources and conspiracy theories that have gained traction, Diddy isn't just some guy throwing wild parties. He's allegedly part of a much bigger organisation, a network of elite individuals who perform disturbing rituals and engage in activities that most people couldn't even imagine. These theories suggest that the parties everyone's been talking about aren't just about pleasure or entertainment. They're probably gatherings where powerful people in the industry come together for specific purposes, following certain practices that bind them together in secrecy. The allegations claim that these aren't small private affairs. We're talking about large-scale events with dozens or even hundreds of attendees, all of them elites in various fields. Entertainers, business moguls, politicians, religious figures, all mixing together in these exclusive spaces where normal rules don't apply. The theory goes that participation in these gatherings is how certain people maintain their power, advance their careers, or gain access to opportunities that would otherwise be impossible to reach. It's a system of mutual compromise where everyone has dirt on everyone else, ensuring that nobody can expose the others without destroying themselves in the process. People discussing these theories online have pointed out how strange it is that despite all the allegations and lawsuits against Diddy, very few major celebrities have spoken out about any of it. The silence from Hollywood has been deafening. You'd expect at least some big names to distance themselves, make statements, or address the rumours in some way. But instead, almost everyone has remained completely quiet. No tweets, no Instagram posts, no comments to reporters, just silence. That silence has convinced many people that there's truth to these allegations. Because why would so many powerful people choose to say nothing unless they had something to hide or feared the consequences of speaking up? One commenter put it perfectly when they said that none of these celebrities will be punished for their crimes because they sold their souls and are protected because of it. Another person pointed out how unsettling it is that the news covers these allegations, but barely any famous person acknowledges them publicly. Their lips remain sealed, even though many of them almost certainly know the truth about what's been happening. The theory is that the majority will remain complicit for their own protection, choosing self-preservation over exposing a system that could bring down half the industry. The web connects so many people across so many years that untangling it all seems almost impossible. When you've got footage of powerful individuals in compromising positions, when you've got evidence of diseases being spread, when you've got testimonies from people who claim they were victimized as teenagers, when you've got financial transactions and travel records and leaked audio and lawsuits, all pointing in the same direction, it becomes harder and harder to dismiss everything as coincidence or conspiracy. The pattern is there for anyone willing to look at it honestly. What makes this entire situation even more complicated is the question of what happens next. The FBI has this hard drive with 90 terabytes of footage. They've supposedly seen what's on it, identified the people in the videos, and documented everything as evidence. But will they actually arrest the celebrities who appear in that footage? That's the question everyone's asking. Some people believe that justice will eventually come, that the legal system will work the way it's supposed to and hold powerful people accountable regardless of their fame or wealth. But others are far more cynical, pointing out that the rich and famous have always played by different rules, and that exposing everyone on those tapes would create such chaos in the entertainment industry that authorities might decide it's not worth the fallout. There's also the matter of consent and knowledge. If these people truly didn't know they were being recorded, are they victims themselves, or are they still culpable for whatever activities they were engaged in? It's a complex legal and moral question. Being filmed without consent is a violation, but that doesn't necessarily absolve someone of responsibility for their actions during those moments. The courts would have to sort through thousands of hours of footage, identify everyone involved, determine what laws were broken, and figure out who should face consequences and for what specific acts. Then there's the health crisis angle that nobody's really talking about enough. If the allegations about unprotected encounters are true, and diseases were spreading among dozens of celebrities over the course of years or even decades, the public health implications are staggering. How many people in total could have been exposed? How many relationships and encounters happened after someone attended one of these parties, potentially spreading infections to people who had no idea they were at risk? The chain of exposure could extend far beyond the people who are actually at those gatherings, affecting partners, spouses, and who knows how many others down the line. And what about the young artists who got pulled into this world when they were just teenagers trying to start their careers? If someone was victimized at 14, 15, 16 years old, groomed by powerful industry figures who promised them success and mentorship, what kind of trauma are they dealing with now as adults? How many careers were built on the backs of exploitation and manipulation? How many talented people never made it because they refused to participate or because they spoke up and got blackballed as a result? The human cost of all this alleged abuse goes way beyond just the scandals and the gossip. This entire saga raises serious questions about how the entertainment industry really operates behind closed doors. We see the glamorous award shows, the magazine covers, the success stories, but according to these allegations, there's a much darker reality that exists parallel to all that shine. A world where young artists get chewed up and spit out, where powerful people exploit their positions, where participation in certain activities becomes an unspoken requirement for advancing your career. If even half of what's been alleged is true, it means the industry has been running on a foundation of abuse, manipulation, and secrecy for decades. What's perhaps most disturbing is how normalized it became. According to people who've spoken about these situations, this wasn't some rare occurrence or isolated incident. It was supposedly a regular thing. Parties happening constantly, new people rotating through, everyone just accepting it as part of the business. The culture became so entrenched that people stopped questioning it, stopped pushing back, stopped protecting the vulnerable. It just became how things were done, and anyone who had a problem with it could leave the industry. Now we're at a crossroads. The allegations are out there, the investigations are supposedly happening, and the public is more aware than ever before of what might have been going on. But will anything actually change? Will the people responsible face real consequences, or will this just blow over like so many other scandals involving the rich and famous? Will the victims get justice, or will they remain silenced by the same power structures that enabled their abuse in the first place? The fact that we're even having these conversations represents a shift. Just a few years ago, someone like Jaguar Wright was dismissed entirely, called crazy for making the exact allegations that are now being investigated by federal authorities. The culture of silence that protected these alleged activities for so long is starting to crack. People are less willing to look the other way, less willing to accept that's just how the industry works as an excuse for inexcusable behaviour. But there's still a long way to go. The entertainment industry is powerful, wealthy, and very good at protecting its own. The legal system moves slowly, especially when dealing with cases involving famous people who can afford the best attorneys money can buy. Even if some individuals face consequences, will the larger system that enabled all of this be dismantled, or will it just adapt and continue operating in slightly different ways? And before we wrap this up, make sure you hit that like button if this video opened your eyes to what's been happening in the industry. Your support helps content like this reach more people who need to know the truth about what goes on behind the scenes. At the end of the day, this alleged scandal isn't just about one person or even a dozen people. It's about a system, a culture, and a way of operating that might have pervaded the highest levels of entertainment for years. It's about young artists being exploited, powerful people avoiding accountability, and a web of complicity that kept everything hidden from public view. Whether the FBI's alleged discovery of that hard drive leads to widespread arrests and real change, or whether it all gets swept under the rug like so many previous scandals, remains to be seen. What we do know is that the allegations are out there now, documented in lawsuits, discussed in interviews, investigated by federal authorities. The silence that protected this alleged network for so long has been broken. The question is whether that's enough to bring about real justice and meaningful change, or whether the powers that be will find a way to maintain the status quo despite everything that's come to light. Only time will tell if this is truly the moment when accountability finally comes to Hollywood's elite, or just another chapter in an ongoing story of power, abuse, and the systems that enable it all to continue. The content presented in this video is purely for educational and entertainment purposes only. All information discussed is based on allegations, rumors, speculation, and publicly available reports that have not been verified or proven in a court of law. The views and opinions expressed are purely speculative in nature and should not be taken as factual statements. We encourage all viewers to conduct their own research and form their own opinions on these matters. No claims made in this video should be considered definitive truth, and we respect the legal principle of innocent until proven guilty. Viewer discretion is advised.